All right, let's get started. So I'm sitting outside today because I'm a bit of a I don't know what to call it, a refugee from my own home, which is the floors are being sanded and all kinds of chaotic things are happening. So I decided to use my fancy technology and go sit outside in the park. So hopefully this the audio works and the distractions aren't too plentiful. So welcome everyone. It's Tuesday, so I thought we'd focus on attention training, or the notion of attention. And I am struck certainly today by the what I would call the involuntary nature of thoughts, feelings, and sensations. And what I mean with that is I'm very aware today that I'm I have a fair less say than if I really slow down and pay attention to what goes on in my life. I'm aware that the thoughts and the emotions, the feelings, the sensations that pop up in my life, um, they just kind of appear out of nowhere, and they are, of course, uh, very directive in terms of how they affect my mood or my attitude or my energy levels and so forth. And so yesterday we did some basic mindfulness practice, um, and the idea of I think of a typical mindfulness practice is the capacity or the ability just to notice what is actually sort of arising in our consciousness. So what are the thoughts that are popping up in my mind? What are the feelings and the corresponding sensations in my body, and where do they come from? It's a bit of a mystery, but we are nonetheless very much affected by them. And so our ability to practice some sense of attentional control becomes a really profound skill that we can cultivate with practice. And so again, I think of this. There's this weird paradox that happens, which is we don't choose our thoughts, we don't choose our feelings, nor our sensations. They just kind of appear, and yet what we focus on in any given moment absolutely determines our reality. So for example, if I just put on the table right now and say Eiffel Tower, to whatever extent any of you have actually been to Paris and stood at the foot of the Eiffel Tower or seen pictures of it and so forth, just the fact that I brought it up right now, I'm guessing none of you really anticipated that 12:04 Pacific time on Tuesday you'd be thinking of the Eiffel Tower. It just happened because I brought it up. And yet our attention, when we think of it, we can't help but see images or have certain experiences revolving around the Eiffel Tower. And so that's what I mean with this idea of, our attention determines our reality. So our ability to choose whether or not to focus or concentrate on whatever appears in our consciousness in any given moment, or the flip side of that is to actually let go of it, becomes a really significant skill that we can cultivate, right? So our ability to, there's some part of us that still gets to choose and says, you know what, I don't want to think about the Eiffel Tower right now. I'm going to give that a really limited amount of, my attentional, currency. I'm going to let go of it and I'm going to focus on other things. Or, wow, that seems like a great idea. Let me focus on, you know, enhancing or activating as much of the Eiffel Tower as I possibly can. So that's what I mean with this two sides of the attention coin. So let's practice that. Let's spend a few minutes today just practicing focusing our attention on experiences that we want, and then also practicing letting go of certain experiences and shifting our attention. There's sort of a kind of proverbial muscle flexing that we can get better and better at, that has a really profound impact on our long-term well-being. So let's go ahead and try that. So close your eyes, and let's start by bringing our attention to the here and now, and just notice, how are you sitting right now? How is your body taking up space and time Are you sitting in a chair? Are you sitting in your car? Are you sitting on the ground? Just notice for a second by bringing your attention to how your body is positioned in this moment. And I'm not suggesting that there's a right way or a wrong way of positioning your body, but it's simply noticing and bringing your attention to this ability to notice that, oh, this is how things are. This is how the body is positioned right now. And then bring your attention to the sensation of your body in contact with the ground. So maybe that's your feet, maybe it's your lower back, your sit bones. See if you can bring the lens of attention and focus on where is my body in contact with the ground, directly or indirectly. And just notice. And you can wiggle your toes a little bit. Notice how that changes the quality of your attention on your feet, in contact with the ground. And then slowly move your attention upward from your feet, through your ankles, up your calves and up your shin bone. And slowly sliding it up, both your left and your right legs, up to your knees. Just pause there for a second. And notice that you have knees. What do they feel like right now? And in order to feel your knees, to whatever extent you can, it means that you're directing, there's a part of you that is intentionally directing your focus or your attention on your knees. So even just notice that process. What's it like to focus on something? And then slowly keep sliding this attentional gaze up your thighs, up your hamstrings. Just rest on your pelvis. Just notice what's it like to have a pelvis resting, sitting in a chair. And then continuing this attentional slide, starting at the very base of your spine. So right where your spine meets your pelvis, and slowly imagine yourself one vertebra at the time, sliding your attentional gaze up the back of your body. That's the middle area of your spine to your upper back, between your shoulder blades, just your shoulders, and then your neck, all the way up to the base of your spine. And then just notice what it's like to have a spine. And you can rearrange your posture a little bit if that helps you bring more attention to your spine. And noticing how on top of your spine is your head. Just noticing for a second everything that comprises your head. So there's the bones, your jaw, your skull, and then there's the skin that envelops the skull. Includes your ears, left and right, your eyebrows, your forehead, and your nose, your nostrils, under your lips, and your tongue, and the inside of your mouth, all the way to the back of your throat, and back down out of your skull, through your throat, into your chest. It's bringing your attention to the sensation of having a chest that's encased in these ribs and skin and muscles. There's this expansion and contraction with each in-breath and out-breath. And then moving even deeper into your belly, into your core. And back down to your pelvis. And slowly dissipating your attention through your thighs, back down to your knees, and all the way back down to your feet. Noticing again the contact with the ground, your groundedness. And the truth is, we could spend another hour doing this. And there's more and more sensations and experiences to pick up. And I hope it's also useful just to spend a few minutes just to focus our attention on sensations of having a body, what it's like to be right here, right now. And just a reminder of the importance of learning how to control our attention and how much of a difference that can make in our moment to moment experience of life and ourselves. So I hope this is helpful. It's 12:16, so I want to wrap up. Hope to see everyone tomorrow on Wednesday, same time, same place. So I hope this was useful. Take care, everyone.